Hola amigos, bien o no, y saludos desde Medellín. Hoy el tema es cómo recuerdo las palabras que usted necesita cuando tú necesitas. So, especialmente cuando tú tienes alguna oración muy importante para decir y con mucho detalle cómo puede mejor recuerdo todas las palabras esenciales. Ese es el tema de hoy. So, y especialmente para este video hoy, mil gracias a mis estudiantes Isabel y Felipe por su ayuda con este tema hoy. So, hello everyone, back again. Today our topic is remembering, or particularly how do we remember the words we need when we have to give, let's say, an important speech or something with more than just a few lines. How do we remember it? So my thanks to Isabel and Felipe, my students from today, for their help with inspiring this theme. Well, let's have a look at how best to do it. So once we get beyond a few sentences and we're almost into like a small script, how do we remember what best to say? Because we don't necessarily want to spend the whole time just reading the paper before us, looking like we're looking at the desk. We want to look like we can still speak quite relaxed and naturally in front of the people we're talking to. But again, we can't forget the important things. How's the best way to do this? Well, I'll give you this as my preferred method for this and see what you think. So let's say I have to give a presentation and I know I have maybe 5 really key important facts or things I need to tell my audience. So I try and reduce that down almost to like 5 key words. So really reduce it down, not just the sentences, more or less like 5 key words or maybe a few key words and a couple of dates or something like that. So that's your essential information. That's the thing that you must remember to say. The rest of it is more or less just how you choose to say it. So I would start by writing down the sequence of how I need to remember my 5 key points. And then once I have effectively the running order, so which order I need to say them, then I just do my first best go at how I would say it. So the whole speech, but making sure I keep those points in order. So then I'd write out basically like 5 paragraphs, if you like, with the other detail I want to add, making sure that I keep those key points in order. Then I put that draft of that speech aside, go away, do something else, come back, and without looking at the first go, I have another go. And then I stop, go away again, come back, don't look at go number 1 or 2, have another go. So write down, 3, 4, maybe even 5 times, without thinking too much about it. Don't go back and re-edit it, just give it your best go, and then you'll start to see what are your favourite phrases. The different ways you could perhaps have said it. Maybe you changed your expression a couple of times. But the key thing is you've kept the running order the same. So the running order doesn't change, just that the phrases you use to describe the things, maybe that changes a bit. So once you've had several goes at this, have a look at them all together and try and give it what you think is your best version. But don't get too hung up on trying to memorize all of the lines. What you just need to remember is the sequence in which you need to mention the key facts. And because you've practiced multiple times different ways to introduce those key facts, you can trust yourself, more or less, to improvise the dialogue around those key facts, because you have already practiced. Then you can go with your best version of the speech and try and improve that and practice that a few more times so you're happy with, okay, that's how the best way I can say it, that's the better way for it to sound. But on the day, if you get a bit lost with, I can't quite remember that phrase, don't get too worried about it, because as long as you're saying the key facts in the sequence you remembered, then the general pattern of ideas in your speech will still make sense, and you can trust yourself that somewhere in that vocabulary that you've got hidden away in your memory, you have enough words to describe the key fact that you want to mention. So that's the idea, is to practice it multiple ways so that you don't get too hung up on, that's the only way I can say it. But if you keep the sequencing the same, it's much easier to remember. So there we go. Déjame saber en los comentarios, como siempre. And for now, from Medellin, it's Cheerio.